Coming up next on At Your Service, we will be having a discussion related to the services with Arundel County Workforce Development Corporation. Stay tuned. Today on At Your Service, we will be discussing our partnership with Arundel Workforce Development Corporation and the services they provide to students and families. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for joining us. And if you can just introduce yourself and go over your role and what your position is with Arundel Workforce Development Corporation.
I am Elizabeth Savage, and I am the Director of In-School Youth Services.
Welcome.
And I am Renee Richardson. I am one of the in-school career coaches, and I am housed at Arundel Middle School, where Mr. Edwards is our principal.
What is Anne Arundel Workforce Development Corporation? So I know, we obviously know from a school system's perspective, but for our audience, can you tell us just the broad sense of what you all do and the services you provide to Anne Arundel County?
Of course. So Anne Arundel Workforce Development is a local nonprofit that provides innovative, high-quality workforce development services to both Anne Arundel County residents as well as the business community. And so the great thing about AAWDC, it's almost like a continuum of services because we have a youth side as well as an adult side. And so with the youth side, we have, of course, us, which is brand new, providing in-school career coaching under the Blueprint for Maryland Future. And we started out in middle schools this year with the intention of expanding into high schools next year. Then we have our out-of-school youth services program, which is working mostly with young people who have already graduated or are about to graduate, so high school level students. And they have multiple programs, and their biggest one is called Future Success, which is a 6-week paid internship program for youth that are from 16 all the way up through, I want to say, college, and as long as they are not full-time. And so on our adult side, we have community services for anyone who is looking to enter into workforce, to want to make a career transition, or who want to upskill their credentials and are looking for a promotion. So we provide a lot of different opportunities. We have training opportunities at our career center where they will do resume building, helping you to prep for interviews, as well as information sessions, which are about either IT or healthcare. So for Anne Arundel Workforce Development, we talk about HITCH, which is our top 5 or high demand industries here in the county, which stands for healthcare, IT, cyberspace, transportation, construction, or skilled trades, and then hospitality. So yes, we are very much about community. We have 3 core values that guide everything that we do, and that is about innovation, collaboration, and excellence. And so we want to make sure that we are really serving the community, both on the youth side as well as the adult side, and help everyone to really be successful in being able to transition into workforce.
What you're saying is if I want to enhance my career or if I want to change careers, you all could help me and guide me to do that, whether it's developing resumes, whether it's applying, whether it's training, those kinds of things.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have our career center right there on 613 Global Way in Lithicum. And so if anyone is interested in receiving more information, they can always reach out to the Career Center at 410-424-3240. Or they can always go to our website at aawdc.org.
Let's talk about the adult side first, and those some of the services that you provide. Definitely resume writing. Do you offer any kind of career fairs or anything? I mean, I know there's maybe not a specific date, but how often is that something that residents can also attend?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So there are career fairs that are offered by us as well as by Southwest. So Southwest is one of our biggest partners that comes to the Career Center to set up a career fair there where people can come in and really find out about what opportunities exist at Southwest. We just had one where there was a health fair, finding out what opportunities and careers are available to residents within healthcare. And so, yes, there are lots of career fairs that happen at the Career Center.
So if people were interested, I know they could check your website, but typically when, because I know that we also have student fairs, are there things that they should bring with them?
Yes, they should have their resumes prepared, dress appropriately, because you might get that on the spot interview with an employer, making sure you just really have your elevator speech or pitch ready to be able to promote yourself and present yourself to a prospective employer.
You talked about Blueprint, and Blueprint is, just for our audience, is giant education legislation that was passed in 2020. And part of that a huge part of that speaks to college and career readiness. And so, and an aspect of that is our partnership with Arundel Workforce Development Corporation. So can you speak to that legislation related to your agency and just the expectations? You alluded to it a little bit and where we are right now.
Yes.
And where we would like to go in the future.
Yes. So this is a very unique partnership, but an exciting one as well. And so we are partnered with AACPS as well as with the community college.
Correct.
And we just want to make sure that people know that Anne Arundel Community College is a partner in this college and career readiness initiative as well. When it comes to AAWDC, we are considered to be the experts when it comes to workforce and how to get people employed, prepared, and positioned to enter into 21st century workforce. And so the great thing about this is that we know that young people, when they get in the 10th grade, they have to take this college and career readiness assessment. And if we are able to work with them and have more opportunity to work with them, we feel like they will be positioned and able to pass the college and career readiness assessment, which will then allow them to choose post-CCR pathways. So that's really where we see our involvement in this initiative. Is not just about the career exploration, but it's about positioning high school students so that they can choose their post-CCR pathways, which could either be dual enrollment, AP, IB classes, or looking at CTE.
Can you tell us what dual enrollment and CTE are, just real quickly? Or I know Susan could tell that also, but just so our audience knows exactly what that is.
Yes, so we have career and technical education where young people are learning hands-on the skills that they need based on the career pathways that they see for themselves. And with dual enrollment, they are able to go to the community college and start acquiring credits while they are still in high school.
Yes.
Right.
And all those things can be coordinated through their school counseling office,
Yes,
just
yes,
so our
yes,
audience knows.
Yes.
that.
And there's one other aspect of Pillar 3, which is the college and career readiness, which doesn't fall under this team, but is still part of Pillar 3, which is the apprenticeship. And I think that is very big to mention, so that young people are aware of that, as well as their parents and guardians, is that apprenticeship is also a pathway to young people getting to their final career destinations.
Right, and that's going to be important because when we look at Blueprint, it needs to be aligned to a pathway. So there's credentialing, right, and there's certifications. It's definitely a mindful, intentional pathway. It's not just I'm just meandering around and picking things that don't lead you to that pathway. So I think that's the piece that I need parents and students to really understand.
Yes.
That it's an intentional pathway.
It is very intentional, and that is what we are building in middle school. This inaugural year is really it's all about career exploration and exposure and awareness. What has been so exciting for us is that it is geared towards middle school, where career coaching or career counseling has never really focused on middle school. It has always been reserved for high school students. And so for us to be able to go into middle schools and work with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders way ahead of high school and getting to stretch their bandwidth and getting them to learn more about themselves and identifying career pathways based on their interests and their values. And starting those conversations. It's very important to start conversations with middle school now. It's already a very confusing time for them, but if there's another person in the schoolhouse that can have those conversations as well as complement the work that is already being done by teachers and the school counselors, that's what we signed up to do. That's why we are here. This is truly a partnership with the school system to find out what is going to work best and what is going to help young people, every single young person in this county, be successful beyond high school.
We have one of our middle school career coaches here
Yes,
right now.
absolutely.
So I don't know if you want to talk about some of your experiences that you've had already in the time that you've been at Arundel Middle.
It's been great thus far. Mr. Edwards is an awesome principal. He's extremely flexible. He pretty much lets me do my thing. I think that career coaches empower students, right? Career coaching is very powerful. It's empowering. And so, like Elizabeth said, we are providing career-related activities in the classroom that's expanding. And stretching the minds of all middle school students, all grade levels, because we know that career coaching is really for the future, right? And so we want them to start identifying pretty early some of the things they're most interested in, and we're giving them that opportunity. So when they get to the high school, or prior to even going to high school, they can choose electives related to goals and objectives, right? So what we're doing is we're going into the classroom, we're offering mini lessons, we're bringing in career speakers or guest speakers. We're having passion projects. There are about 20 career coaches in 20 middle schools, all very creative, very diverse, and our goals are really to help students identify what it is they want to do prior to getting to high school, making those important decisions so that ultimately, and they very well may change their mind, and that's okay. They can kind of change their mind in terms of what they want to do, but we're encouraging them to start thinking about the future early. So that's what we're doing. That is our goal. I love what I do. I love connecting with middle schoolers. I'm a former school counselor in Prince George's County Public Schools, so I worked in high schools in particular. So going into the middle school, initially I was, a little concerned about that. But I realized I love this population. I interned in middle school and in Howard County and wanted to work with middle schoolers, but didn't have an opportunity because I worked in a community college setting, and they thought I would be better served in a high school. But I realized this is the population that needs career development, career exposure, career exploration. We want them to know what they want to be when they grow up. So that's what we're doing. We're in classrooms offering career-related activities. Our first activity was an introduction to the Hitch careers. We made it engaging and fun. Students were able to get up and move around, and we asked them questions about different careers, identifying careers, and we made it fun. And I realized that this is exactly what they need. I'm in the cafeteria now, and I have what they call Trivia Fridays, and I create a PowerPoint for the 8th graders in particular, and I ask them trivia-related questions regarding art or technology, some science, kind of the STEAM fields. Right. And they're excited about it because, of course, you have to have a reward at the end. You have to give them a candy bar, a bag of chips, or something for them to want to get involved. But so this is some of the things I'm doing at my school. A lot of, like I said, 20 of us. We're all doing pretty much the same. Our goals are the same, right? But we're doing different activities to expand the mind and get them moving and rolling and excited about a particular career.
Well, that's great to hear. I mean, definitely when we come back, we're going to take a short TV time out, but then we're going to continue with our discussion about the career coaches and what's happening at the middle school and then the transition. So thank you very much. And so please stay tuned and join us when we come back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Bedell, and I am proud to be the superintendent of Anne Arundel County Public Schools, a district of 85,000 students and 14,000 dedicated employees. We are on our way to being the best school system in Maryland, and we could use your help to get there. Consider one of these many careers with us. So what are you waiting for? Apply today and help students like these be
AACPS Awesome!
Welcome back to At Your Service. We're going to continue our conversation with Anne Arundel Workforce Development Corporation. So when we talked before the break, we were talking about the career coaching that's going on in middle schools. So can you tell us a little bit about, is there a curriculum that they follow? Are there outcomes that they want middle school students to accomplish by the time they've gone through some of the activities that Renee talked about earlier?
Yeah. So we do not prescribe to a specific curriculum because it is the first year. And so we really wanted to see what was being done with the school system in terms of the curriculum that you all have, and then build on that with our level of expertise from the workforce side. And so
when you say that, you mean like making sure that you're connecting with what the counselors are teaching within their career,
and the
career in
teachers.
college, and the teachers
Yes,
also. Okay.
within the teachers, because the way that, so let me take a step back. What we had decided over the summer in partnership with the schools is that we would do a strategic rollout in reverse, meaning that we would start with the 8th grade first in Q1 and Q2 because they would be transitioning into high schools. And so we needed to sort of fast track them to get them ready for high school, but also making sure that they were selecting the coursework that would support their career pathways. Then in Q3, which is coming up January the 22nd, we are bringing the 7th graders into the fold, with Q4 being the last quarter of the school year, and then we would bring 6th graders into the fold.
Gotcha.
And so it was really looking at, okay, what do we need to do to position 8th graders right away? And that was about, okay, let's talk to them about what is career exploration. What are those high demand industries within this county? And do they see any of their current career interests falling into any of these industries? And so that was the very first activity that the career coaches did with 8th graders. They went into one of the core subject areas and implemented this activity with students. And a lot of the students just like, what is career exploration? But they were really excited. And I have to say that we received feedback, actually Renee received feedback from another career coach about how excited one of her students was when she went home and shared with her mom, like, oh my goodness, this is Hitch. And so that's the type of excitement we want to see with all of the students. And that activity will now be done with the 7th and the 6th graders. As we're moving into this new quarter, the career coaches are going to do career assessments and career clusters. So this is really when young people are sitting down. We're using Pathful Explore to do that. So this is a platform that AACPS has already already been using, and now we are using it to really support the work that the career coaches are doing. And so this will be the opportunity for students to sit down, actually do an assessment, and find out how do their responses and their interests actually align to career clusters, and whether they're in agreement with that. Some are probably going to say, no, I want to do this. But your assessment results may say something different. And what we want to do is create those dialogues for young people, because we feel like the more informed they are, the better off they will be in making decisions now and in the future about their careers. We are also doing guest speakers coming up. So there are a number of career fairs and career days that are happening between January and April. We're going to have our communications team to come out and do some photo ops and take pictures of those events. But the career coaches are working with everyone in the schoolhouse to make these events happen, from the AVID coordinators to FACS to everybody in the schoolhouse. So it's really about all of those partnerships coming together to give kids really good experiences. Then we're looking at field trips, which are more so towards the end of the school year, where they can actually go out and really do some job shadowing and to see whether this is something that they want to do. In addition, for the summertime, we're even expanding. So the things that young people have learned in the schoolhouse all school year, we are now giving them opportunities for experiential learning, hands-on learning. And so we are partnering with the community college, where we are going to actually sponsor, so parents do not have to pay for these summer camp programs. There will be 6 different ones, and they are skilled trades, kids in the kitchen, which is culinary arts. We're going to have an entrepreneur boot camp, advanced robotics, beats and jams for those that are really interested in the music industry, and the last one is YouTube content creators, because I think all of our young people want to be the next latest and greatest and biggest YouTube stars. And so we just really want to create those opportunities for them to see, is this a pathway that they really want to pursue, or no, this is not for me and I want to rethink it. And it's okay to change their minds.
Awesome. And even those skills that they learn, even if they don't become the next YouTube star, the skills that they learn around creating videos, editing, or can apply to a number of different careers.
Absolutely. Really absolutely. And so that's what we're really trying to get, is that if you acquire these skills, it does not necessarily mean it's just for one type of job. It is for multiple occupations. You just have to learn how to transfer those skills.
Yeah.
And that's important, transferable skills. You know, it's interesting because I'm listening to you and all those wonderful career activities. You know, when I look at our office in school counseling, we have 3 different domains. So we can only do so much when it comes to career, because we work with social emotional, and then we have the academic skills. So this is a great enhancement. And it's the application beyond just one staff member, like one department, because it really you're going into the classrooms with the teachers, and then that application is so critical, you know, and so I appreciate it. I know you mentioned a variety of, you know, activities, you know, planned. I know that one of the things with Blueprint is the expansion to high school and what that looks like. So, you know, you've already been talking a little bit about it. So for parents, what's the expectation with the career coaches for next year moving to high school?
Yes, so we are going to be recruiting for a whole nother set of career coaches for high schools. And it's really about taking what students have already learned, meeting them where they're at, but again, it's getting them ready. So 9th graders, we're really prepping them for this 10th grade career assessment. For 10th graders, they should, if they're already identified as being CCR ready, helping them to choose their pathway, their post-CCR pathways. And then for the 10th and the 11th and 12th graders, seeing where they're at and Are they making decisions to go directly into the workforce, and do they have those credentials that they need to be able to do that seamlessly, or are they going to college? We want to make sure that we are capturing every single student, and that when they walk across that stage to get their diploma, that they're confident because they have a plan in place. We do not want young people walking across the stage happy and a little apprehensive at the same time, because they are moving to a different stage in their life. But we feel like if we have given them the education and the support and the conversations that they need, they will move forward with confidence and work through the apprehension and the anxieties that they have.
Very much so.
So the high school seems to be the next part of the plan with the partnership, the
Yes.
ACPS. Where else, when you talk to your colleagues at AWDC and then ACPS colleagues, what is the big vision as we move, 5 years down the road? What does that vision look like?
I think it's really depending on the AIB, which is the Accountability and Implementation Board, because they are going to be reevaluating or evaluating all of the Blueprint career coaching initiatives in 3 years.
Okay.
And I think that's why we started with middle schools, because we really feel like we're going to get really significant outcomes, good results, because we've had longer to work with this population of students. And so the bigger picture is that we want to see it stay. There are a lot of initiatives that come and go, but we want this to be a mainstay because we understand the value, but most importantly, we understand the partnership. You all bring the level of expertise in terms of education and school counseling. We bring the expertise on workforce development side. So let's make this a win-win for everybody, but especially for the students and their parents or guardians.
Yeah, and ultimately, it's a win-win for the county, right? Because
Absolutely.
the idea is for us is to produce successful global citizens, and if they have an opportunity to build skills that they can work directly in Anne Arundel County, it builds our economy and makes us a better place to be.
Yes.
So when I think about that, and we talked a little bit about, experiences for students as they go through high school, in 10th and 11th grade, just the amount of exposure, because as a career and workforce development, organization, you're at the cutting edge before probably we are, working with certain academics, because you know what the jobs are and your industries and your partnership. Like, I can't imagine how many industry partnerships you have for the citizens of Anne Arundel County.
Yes.
I mean, are we talking about hundreds?
Hundreds, because that's the great thing about AAWDC, is that we have a whole department, which is the business and industry solution side, that actually works directly with the employers and learning from the employers directly what are their needs and how do we then make sure that the residents are skilled up or upskilled to be able to meet the needs of those employers. And so just being able to have those conversations, we have industry talent consultants in each one of those 5 areas that I mentioned of Hitch. And so they go out. They're constantly interfacing and interacting with the businesses to find that information out. And so we're hoping that we can use that and leverage that, so then we can create mentorships for students to work directly with these businesses that they are interested in pursuing careers with, as well as job shadowing and going out on site. And then again, with that apprenticeship, and then maybe some paid and unpaid internships as well. So getting their hands-on experience to say, yes, this is what I want to pursue, and then positioning to say, okay, what else can we provide for you in terms of services so that you can go into that workforce or have those industry credentials.
Great. Well, we just want to thank you both for coming and talking to us today. This has been extremely informative, and we look forward to having you all back as this partnership progresses so we can learn more and provide more information to our audience.
Yes, we want to give updates.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us at your service, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Do you know the impact of social media on student athletes? This is what you should not do.
Number one shouldn't even be starting. They didn't even show up to practice.
Yeah, they cost us the game.
If coach put someone better in, then we actually would have had a chance.
This is what you should do.
You played great today. It was such a fun and intense game.
So did you. I can't wait for the next one.
It's important to remember that everything you say on social media has the ability to spread across different platforms. You should always think before you post.